Okay. First of all, let me say this. No slander. The song is A+. And don't take my tone as anything other than that. The song's tremendous. But I just have a question as we open the show today. Is this really like who we are? Is this what we're going to be? Just so I understand, okay? What I watched last night, and then what I have listened to and read and seen since, I feel like I don't belong here. I feel like I exist on a different planet. This is where we are now. Mm-hmm. We are needing a wild, desperate, unbelievable comeback against garbage in order to simply not be eliminated. In order not to clinch a playoff spot. Not to win a series. God forbid not to put us back in the Stanley Cup Finals in a place that I'm told is Hockey Town. The original six franchise, the greatest American hockey franchise ever. And I'm sitting here listening to callers all day, and people, you'll have to pardon me. I was so disgusted by being down 4-1 to that ass known as the Montreal Canadiens. That is a bad hockey team. It's a daycare center filled with kids. They had a guy who was in college 10 minutes ago. I'm pretty sure he played in the Frozen Four last weekend. He's up with the club. I was so angry after being down 4-1 because I, unlike most of these people, and certainly the TV broadcast, I have standards. Mm-hmm. You know what I wanted the Wings to do last night? Come out and obliterate this team.
You wanted them to have the 4-1 lead.
I wanted blood. Yeah. I wanted them to actually do what they did in Toronto, sort of, before they blew the lead. And I sat here and I'm going, wow, these people are celebrating like they're in, mm-hmm. or celebrating like something big. No, all you did was earn the right to now have to win tonight and turn a trick on the corner to get in.
You earned one more day.
No, you earned one more day, and you have to beg for help.
Yeah.
Like I don't celebrate that. And I understand if you watch the game and you're pumped you won, fine. There was a woman they showed in the crowd. She was making a face like she was giving birth. Mm-hmm. It was like a religious experience. Mm-hmm.
Buddy.
Is this what we are?
It is. It is. I can help you with this. This is what happens when it's been so long since you've had a winner in this town. You can call yourself Hockey Town. You can call yourself whatever. But when you haven't won in a while, like it or not, standards fall. You walk into the bar or the club at 10 o'clock, you have higher standards. By 2 o'clock, standards are not the same. At 2 o'clock, you'll take a strong 5.5 because, well, beats nothing. And that's what we were last night. Beats nothing. We get an extra day. We got a little bit of hope left. Yes, we got a scoreboard watch. We got to win the game. But that's where we are because it's been a while. When the Pistons have played in a playoff series at the LCA and you haven't, that's a problem. And that's where we are. So that's why you saw that. I'm not agreeing with it. I'm not saying it's right.
No.
But you have to understand people. And so, yes, for Detroiters, for that comeback, because it looked like all was lost.
Because they were lifeless.
And then they throw two octopus on the ice, and all of a sudden, you get rejuvenated.
No, I can't. Look, am I happy I have something to watch tonight? Of course I am. But once you're down 4-1 to an awful team, when you have everything to play for, you've angered me to a point. I don't have jubilation in my body.
Well, you know why? Because it looks like you don't want it. You had to go back and take it from Montreal, but you didn't come out like a team that wanted to be in the playoffs. You didn't come out with a team who said, you know what? This is the final home game here in Detroit. Guys,
let's put on a show.
We got to do this, okay? Forget about what happened all in the season. Forget about the Arizona games. It's all about tonight. Let's start it off. Let's get the first goal. Let's get the second goal. Let's just beat these bums. It shouldn't have been what it was. Now, you take the victory, but for everybody who was there, everybody
That's
was
the
sitting in
loudest
the
that
arena.
arena's ever been.
It was, and they were sitting there all thinking, I can't believe it's over. And then, wait, it's 4-3. Well, maybe if we can get a goal, if we can at least get a point. And then Raymond scores with, 27 seconds left. You get the point. Okay. Could we win this thing? He shoots, he scores, they win. You get this great opening. Yes. Is the bar low? Absolutely.
Okay, then just call the people what they are. Just say it. If you lower your bar to that level, you're a loser. Straight up.
Or you're hungry.
No, this is
or
not.
You're hungry, Mike.
No, this isn't the Arizona Coyotes. Maybe the problem is I hold the teams in this town to the same standard I hold my own. I view the Red Wings as one of the elite franchises in the history of hockey. I view them as the New York Yankees of hockey. Okay? It's an unbelievable tradition. It's an unbelievable. I mean, the logo itself, it's Americana. This is a town where the Stanley Cup is the goal. To sell the idea, look, what offends me is the idea that we are in this needing help after being 9 points above the cut line 5 weeks ago. And I'm watching this team with everything to play for, Rico. If we forgot everything else that transpired to get here, I was sitting in disbelief watching this game last night down 4-1 to an atrocious hockey team.
Right.
So at that point,
right, it wasn't 4-1 to Boston. It wasn't 4-1 to a top. This was, it was Montreal. You should have just came out there, blown their doors off, and ready to hop on a flight to go back and do it again.
Or just not be down 4-1. You know, things happen in a hockey game. Maybe you're tied at 1, you're down 2-1, and you got to, okay. When you're down 4-1, you've put some of the worst tape of your season on the ice. You have. It's, and I'm just in shock listening in mornings and middays and then just forget about the media coverage.
Well,
and I'm going, we still could win tonight and get left out.
What you wanted to see is the way the Wings played in the final minutes and in overtime for the entire game. Why didn't you start that way? Where every possession counted, where all of a sudden you just saw the grit and the determination. You didn't see that at the beginning of the game, but you saw desperation kick in. This team should be better than desperation. That should have just been Red Wing hockey out there. But instead, it took, guys, we're about 2 minutes away from cleaning out our lockers.
Minute 17.
Yeah.
And again, my issue is I still am left as a fan. I have to sit here now and beg for help. That's how bad they were down the stretch. I got to beg for help. Yeah. Oh, well, if the Flyers do this and if they go, oh, well, what happens if we go to overtime? And here's an idea. You could have handled your own business. But I'm just blown away. And look, you see it all over the place. Here's my fear. My fear is a great many people actually don't care what happens tonight. That they already think the season's a success. See, I think what we're going to get is a lot of the revisionist history where, let's say the Wings win and the Caps win.
See, I was about to say, let me meet you halfway. Because if the Wings win, I do agree with you. They'll say, we were that close.
Yeah, we were in
Eiserman
a chase.
has us standing there at the edge of the, looking at the playoffs. Man, next year.
Whereas I look at it, you utterly collapsed and put yourself in this spot, and it takes away any vibes we had February 28th.
That would be the other side of the coin, yes.
I would really like to explore it, talk to the people about it, and just see where they're at. What? Is the season a success no matter what happens tonight? Is that where we've arrived at in this town? A participation trophy? And mind you, making the playoffs really isn't that big of a deal in hockey. It's kind of something that after 5 years I expected. You know what I don't like? I don't like the fact that this game, I need help. I don't like the fact that with everything on the line, they showed their ass for the better part of 2/3 of a hockey game. And yet, they score the goal, and it's this all is forgiven routine that I just can't vibe with.
Right.
Because my goal is I want to see Stanley Cup again. And I'm sorry, Rico, since February 28th, all they had to do in any of these games, forget about, well, they cooled off. Buddy, if you show up against Arizona once and steal one singular point, are we in this spot? No, we are not. I have a very hard time celebrating it. And after 4-1? No, you owed me winning that game. That's not anything I'm going to pop a hole in my denim for, okay?
It's the conversation I had with Rieger this morning. I'm like, Rieger, if they beat Arizona one time, last night everybody's celebrating, you're going to the playoffs. You clinched the spot. You're in. But when you haven't had teams in the playoffs for so long, you start off with high standards. They eventually erode away. The clock is ticking. You're like, man, it's been a while. That's why people treated the Lions that way.
So I'm weird.
Imagine if the Tigers just make one of the last wild card spot. We're excited. If the Pistons are the 10th seed in the play-in game, this town would go crazy. Why? It hasn't even been mediocre. It's been substandard. It's been absolute garbage water for everything. That's why everybody bows down to Brad Holmes, because he brought a winner here.
Yeah, but Brad was literally a quarter from a Super Bowl now.
No,
I'm
Mike,
fine.
but he took
Roses out there for that.
But he took a team that at one point was sitting there at 1-6, and it looked like, oh my God.
But the point I'm making
awful.
is this, and I know we're over, so just hold on. You know what? I'll save it. 248-539-9797. No, David. I will not start the show angering you. I know we got to be on time. Let me be on time. And I will get Kenny involved. I want to hear what he has to say. I was happy he could get out of bed. And then I have something else I want to talk to you, and we'll get to the people.
Okay.
Excuse me for
Tell
a moment.
something.
Yeah, well,
there it is.
It's not,
hi, Mike Valeni.
Yeah, it's not positive, but in an instant, an auto accident could put you in the worst financial position of your life. I mean, like I said, this isn't an uplifter. You got to hire the right lawyer to make sure the insurance companies pay what they owe you. Injury attorney David Feminini, on him and his team, they've been making insurance companies pay for 30 years. They help you with your case as well. And David is ready to speak to you personally, immediately, right now, when you call 855-65-CRASH, or you can go to that website, getdavid.getpaid.com. Great response from the people, and I'm going to get with you guys. Just sit tight for 1 second. I want to make sure, I got to finish saying what I was saying to Rico. I want to hear from Kenny on this. So, look, no one's more invested in this hockey team. Kenny's been on a very emotional journey over the last few years. Steve bought, not bought, Steve bought. Guy tried to fire Yzerman. Yeah. It's been very difficult. Kenny, so you listened to the opening segment. You heard me and Rico discuss. You can go at what we said or add your own perspective or both. I am legitimately interested in you weighing in on this.
So I think two things that you said can be true. If I was at that game at the LCA, I would have been just as excited as everybody else in that building. I would have been jumping up and down. It would have been fantastic. But what I'm not going to do is call this season an outright success when they, A, haven't even made the playoffs, but B, I think you have to move the goalposts once you attain a certain level of success in the regular season. If they got outscored in those 2 games against Arizona, 8-1 combined. And you want to tell me if they would have came away with 1 or 2 points out of any of those games, we'd control our destiny right now.
To a team that's literally a hole in a wall now.
They're moving to Salt Lake City.
Huge hockey community there. The Mormons love hockey.
Wait, you know why? Because they lost their eBay bid and they didn't get to land.
Buy it now.
Yeah, they should have bought it now. No, but I think both things can be true. I think those fans are allowed to be excited and do what they like. But at the same time, bigger picture, once you get home and sleep it off, you got to realize, hey, this team should have been in a lot better of a spot than they're in right now.
And should have been eliminated.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I'll go into tonight, watch the game. I hope they play a hell of a lot better. But Kenny, don't you?
Why do we have to hope, Mike? Because this is a playoff push. They should be. Every single one of those games, they should be hair on fire.
You want to know why you have to hope? Because last night was a game they should have been hair on fire and they weren't.
No, that's my point.
The hair got lit on fire with about 2 minutes to go into the game.
When you saw Gostisbehere jumping for that puck, that's when the hair was on fire.
Right. Now all of a sudden you're doing things like a team who wants to win, like a team who wants to get to the playoffs. You're doing the extra stuff that's not asked of you.
I hate scoreboard watching. I admit it. I feel like it's groveling, like you're begging for money. You're holding a cup out on the lodge. Help me.
Help me, Philly.
Right.
Clink, clink, clink.
Yeah, here, do me a favor because I can't help myself.
Tortorella, please.
No, because here it is.
Yes, that's my whole point. So, like, Kenny, I lose the exuberance when I know I'm in that position.
And even the players, you got to think, are kind of wondering what else is going on in the game. Like, an assistant coach is like, hey, what's going on in that game?
There's somebody watching. There's got to be somebody
They'll have
watching.
a monitor. But come on now.
No, but you're asking in the game, especially if you're up, hey, what's happening? What's going on?
Here's the question, Kenny. And you can only answer for yourself. I mean, I don't think it makes you a bad person. I just think it would acknowledge you have lower standards. So is the season a success no matter what happens tonight?
Absolutely not. I think I've moved the goalpost to win a playoff game. That's when we're talking success.
So why does so many of your fan base view it as a success already?
I think a lot of this fan base rides the roller coaster. I mean, you see it. You don't see it on Twitter, but I see it on Twitter. A lot of people see it on social media.
Take me into the world of X.
It's very reactionary. When good things happen, they ride the roller coaster up. When bad things happen, they ride the roller coaster down. But right now, they're on the up.
But there's no standard.
No, there's no standard. At the beginning of the season, I feel like a lot of Wings fans were okay with us not even being close to the playoffs, which don't
we weren't.
understand.
You and I made the deal. It was the same thing as the Lions. We're making the playoffs.
Yeah, that was the goal, or at least be within striking distance. Now that we've seen how the season's played out, that goalpost has moved a little bit. But I don't want to be in striking distance.
I was about to say, aren't you in striking distance?
We are now in striking distance, but now I want more. I wanted more since they started winning game after game after game months ago.
And I still can't figure out this team's effort quotient. How can a team that fights so hard in these critical moments blow a 4-1 lead or be down 4-1?
The being down 4-1 scares me even more.
Right, but you get what I'm saying is they have this in them to be better.
They don't start on time. I don't get it.
No, they don't.
Right, and that was the thing last night, Kenny. That's a game we all sat down to watch, and I'm going, oh, my God. That was the equivalent of, like, Game 7 for the Yankees against the Red Sox, and they were down 7-0. Johnny Damon, the caveman, hit a grand slam, places a morgue, and you go, oh, my God, season's over.
I don't know if they're just playing down or what the deal is because, like Rico said, I think they should be starting every game with their hair on fire. It doesn't make sense why that, especially right now and last night, there is no reason they should have been down more than 2 goals at any point in that game.
Yeah, if you want to be desperate, you'd be desperate from the opening puck.
Yes.
But Kenny, I get what you're saying now, because I was asking him, like, well, why do you want to go into playoff hockey? Because if you lose and you get swept, and you're like, well, playoff hockey. And I saw that, like, Lucas Raymond. I'm like, you know what? He's going to learn from this game.
That needs to be a game he plays in the playoffs. I want to see that in the playoffs. It's
and again,
essential.
A playoff series will allow me to feel better about the season if the Wings play a highly competitive series. Now, they don't have to win a series. That's an unfair marker. I don't think they're ready. But could you take the opening round 6 games? Could you give the fans a couple of thrills? What you just said, what Kenny just said, do we get to see Lucas Raymond maybe foreshadow next year's breakout? Like, that is the only way that this turns into a success, because this has been the most brutal playoff push. When your final 22 games, you win like 6 of them. Right. How am I supposed to have all these vibes?
Man, it's not even a roller coaster ride. It's like a street carnival ride.
That's what I said. Is right now the vibes are immaculate right now with Red Wings fans because of the high finish last night.
Hey, David, you see a bag of screws over there? Like, shouldn't you put all those in? Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll ride.
The cart's all wobbly.
Right. Like it's more screws than the guy has teeth.
David, let's go to Ticket Text, shall we?
I agree it was a bit much, but Rico is right. It's been too long for this team, and I was even excited last night after the win. When you're a fan, the difference between your season being over and still having a chance, it's everything. It's not that we come down to this level. It's just that it's come down to this.
No.
Bob in the car.
I got to do it, Bob. You're shaking both hands. Yes, it does mean you've lowered your standards. The idea that we're celebrating simply not getting in, but not being eliminated. Your team put themselves in that spot. And let me be even more clear. The only reason you were that excited is because you had to come back from the depths of hell. You were down 4-1 to a trash team. I focus on that more than the comeback. Well, why? You know why you're so excited? Because you knew your team laid an egg in the biggest game of the season. And your reward for this is I still got to beg for help on the last night. Mm-hmm. I got a hard time with that.
Someone says it's all coaching. That's why they start terrible. Again, Lalonde has to go. All right.
David, go ahead.
People were happy they won. Not a big deal. Mike, stop. A win is a win.
No, it's not. I've never subscribed to it, and you can go elsewhere. That win is a win is the laziest, low intellect way of doing a radio show or being a fan or writing a column. No, a win is not a win. Give you an example with baseball. We have these conversations about the Tigers. Do you know why these wins don't mean much to me? Because they're unsustainable. These bottom of the 8th heroics or relying on other teams booting the baseball. Guys, data. Baseball is data. Hockey's data. You want to do the win is a win, do it in the Eastern Conference Finals. Do it when you don't have your best stuff and you steal a game on the road to even a playoff series. We'll talk about it. But no, I've never subscribed to that. I subscribe to these are highly paid professionals, and there has to be standards for it. If you're driving your car home, tell me, is there a standard where you work? Or is a shift a shift?
But, Mike,
no, it's not.
You've seen enough sports to know that sometimes a team just becomes let's just call them the cardiac kids, where they just constantly play from behind the entire season. At what point would you say, you know what, maybe that's just what this team is this year?
What, are you talking Tigers?
Yeah, just Tigers, yeah.
September.
If they're still
because
doing this.
You know what happens? You can look at the historical data. If you have a great first half winning one-run games, you know what happens in the second half? You lose them all. It's look, I don't have to respect it because it's subpar. It's inferior. The Wings' performance last night is exciting because how bad it was. So I was so upset by the way it started, I could never find my way to that level of joy. Now, had they clinched a spot in the playoffs, we're not doing this topic. But they didn't do that last night.
Yeah. And I guess it was just listening to Lalonde say, hey, when he actually credited the fans for throwing the octopus on the ice to fire up the team. And it's just like, you know what? It seemed like they actually did fire up the team because after they removed the second one, the team went out there and just said, guys, this is it. We got to win. And now all of a sudden the ice tilted and you're just shooting shot after shot after shot. And you finally got one in. And then you go to overtime and win. But man, it shouldn't have taken that. That should have been the beginning of the game. Like you said, when you was at Toronto and you just go in there and you beat them and you don't let them come back.
It's the emotional back and forth with this team that I find exhausting.
It's the lack of consistency.
Up 4-1 against Toronto, collapse, heroism.
You can't put 3 periods together.
Right, and that's not anything I got to respect. And it bums me out because there was a time this season I admit it, they looked like a real team.
Where's your car flag right now?
I tell you, Cookies has got his.
He's got a tiger flag.
He's having a hard time putting his pants on.
All right.
248-539-9797. Here's Rico to tell you all about it. Then we get to your calls.
For those who are unaware, T-Mobile calls themselves the Un-Carrier Network, which is fitting considering they just unintendedly, the price lock guarantee for their new customers, well, that's gone. So who wouldn't be unhappy with a company that undoes their own promises unchecked? If you ask me, that's pretty uncool. If you're unimpressed with the Uncarrier and uncomfortable with a company who does one thing and then unapologetically does another, it's time to make an unlike and an unfollow and then switch to Xfinity. The whole home Wi-Fi wired internet service speed, reliability, they got it. It's all unparalleled. Unjoin the Uncarrier and switch to Xfinity today. Now through April 21st, new customers can get a 300 megabit per second Xfinity internet for just $35 and ask how you can save 40% over T-Mobile in your first year. Switch today. Go to Xfinity.com/TMOFacts. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with a store bank account. And 1-year contract. Restrictions apply. Taxes, fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Effective for new customers after 1/17/24. T-Mobile's price lock will only reimburse your last bill if you terminate service due to a price increase.
All right, let's get to the people. Thank you for the patience. We had a lot to sort out. Wanted to get Kenny involved, get the ticket texts. So I think maybe the question is it a success regardless of what takes place tonight? My answer is no. But I do think a lot of people will say yes. And I want to know your perspective on the game last night. That, look, had they clinched a spot in the playoffs, I would understand what I'm watching and hearing and reading versus, yay, we earn the right to beg for more help tonight and have to win another game. A little weird to me. So let's get to it. Mark, St. Clair Shores. Mark, thanks for the patience. What's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to remind you guys, you guys are kind of hard on the Wings here, but you got to remember when Dylan Larkin got that cheap shot, got knocked out, we were at that game, and he was out for probably about 3 to 4 games that were probably winnable for us. So we actually would have had about another 6 more points, if not 8, and they would have clinched the playoffs. But you guys seem to forget that when he got that cheap shot and he went out.
No, I don't forget that, but he's not Connor McDavid. You don't get to just say that him being out grants you the ability to no-show against Phoenix twice.
Well, yeah, that game they kind of shit the bed. I get that.
Can't
on
say that
one.
on the air. I'm sorry about that. All right. He was Mark, it's not personal. You can't use that language on here. I love you, Mark. Because I talk just like you. I just can't do it on the radio. No, my Mark's point for the audience.
Right.
We had
he
to
did not
Mark
say
go.
shipwreck.
Correct. Nice word that rhymes with blit. Mark, I think that's a cop-out to suggest that, okay, Dylan Larkin got hurt, therefore, let's just lose 7 in a row. No, that if you want to sell me that this team is good and sell me that the plan is in place, you remember when last summer everyone tried to sell us about the depth and all of how we're going to have pros on this team, we're raising the floor. You don't get to have that type of losing streak with largely, and Kenny will back me on this, low to no effort games.
Yeah, 0 effort games, a couple of them. And if you get outscored by Arizona 8-1 in a combined 2 games, I'm sorry, but you're not one Larkin away from fixing that problem. That goes way deeper than just Dylan Larkin.
Correct. And again, I'm not being disrespectful to the captain, but let's not turn him into Gretzky in his prime here. Let's just take it easy. Let's go over to Josh, 97.1. Josh, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, guys. I got one stat and one question for you.
Sure.
So if Larkin and Raymond drag this team into the playoffs, it'll be the first time a Chris Ilitch-owned team has had a playoff berth or winning record since his dad died in 2017. Wow. So I think this is our new sports reality in Detroit. I think Chris Ilitch is going to keep selling us crazy pucks, trying to convince us it's a hot and ready. And
well,
so my question is...
And let's face it, the media will go right along with it.
Absolutely. And so my question is, and I'm not a salary cap expert, do you think Steve can get Chris to spend? Because when I look at the Tigers, which I'm a much more knowledgeable baseball fan,
sure.
When Mike died, the payroll was, I think, 4th or 5th, and it hasn't been higher than 18th since he died. And I just think that's who Ilitch wants us to be, as one of these teams that has to scratch and claw and go on a storybook run in the playoffs if we want to see another title here, as opposed to when his dad ran the teams. Which
I think baseball
going to do what it takes to win.
Baseball, I don't think you'll ever see a top 10 payroll again. That's an easy answer for me. The hockey's different based on the cap. Now the Wings have copious cap space that they're going to have to use. And obviously, you're going to get more of the younger guys coming up in the pipeline. It's going to be a little bit of a logjam with some of these bad deals that have been signed. I mean, let's face it. A guy like an Andrew Kopp, that's a bad contract. The whole
Very
signing,
bad.
that was a bad signing. But the point is, yes, Josh. I mean, Steve never takes this job if he can't get the green light to spend. Now, I think the limitations that are there, and certainly will defer to our Don Cherries in the audience, I think Steve himself doesn't want to make these long commitments. I think that has just been a systematic thing he has made a decision on.
Yeah, it's rough. And as for how I felt watching last night, I went to one game this year, and it was the first game in their 7-game losing streak when they lost to the Islanders. And it's just, when DeBrincat scored, I was like, all right, cool. They're not going to die alone, I guess. And then, Raymond scores, and all I can think is, are we going to pay him? Because, I hope so. He looks really good.
No, you will, Josh. I don't view it that way. I think there's a system in place. There's a way Steve wants to do this. The Ilitch thing from a money standpoint is much more relevant in baseball than it is hockey. I don't want to put that on Chris. That if you want to complain they haven't gone out and done a blockbuster thing or locked up somebody on a Johnny Hockey type deal, not the player because he's been terrible in Columbus. I'm saying that's Yzerman. That's not Chris.
But as far as what he was talking about, Lucas Raymond, it's what we said, Mike. You want to see a star player go out and be a star player. And last night he showed, you know what? If none of you guys want to do this, I'll do it.
And he's been money down the stretch.
I'll score the tying goal, and I'm going to score the winning goal.
He's got to take another step forward next year. He's got to be that guy that can be a 90-point guy, a 100-point guy. But and he's young. Yeah, he's got pedigree.
But maybe he's setting himself up to say, I'll be that guy.
Yes.
When it comes crunch time, feed me the puck, I'll get it in.
Agree. And again, would the playoffs help him? Yes, you want to see that. And obviously, you're going to need the experience. My problem with it is I'm still left begging tonight for other people's help.
Well,
that's such a bummer.
Yeah. Can't get around that.
No,
Kenny, was that comment, was that hockey elite worthy?
Yeah, it's not bad, Rico.
I can speak today.
There you
go.
All right. Let's go to Steve. I'm sorry, Steve. I apologize you walked into that. What's going on?
Oh, no, I've walked into far worse than that. No, guys, well, we won't talk about that. But anyways, a member of the hockey elite here who's a little rattled based on what I had to walk into. But first things first, I think you're being a little unfair. I know the game, the way it started out, the score didn't look great. But if you actually look at the underlying metrics of it, the Wings kicked their butt yesterday. They should have won, 60, 70% of those games played if they played them 100 times. So I know you guys know about puck luck, and it's like if the Lions, if the Lions drove 99 yards down the field and then Goff threw an interception in the end zone, that's an indictment on Goff, not the whole team. So that is what it is. But I am celebrating. I think two things can be true. I think this season could be a disappointment in the sense that maybe they should have had the playoffs, but it can also be a resounding success. I think the underlying metrics, if we want to talk about those, are showing you that this rebuild is a success. And you saw the ascension of Lucas Raymond. You saw the team, again, just slowly ascending year by year, and they're showing that they're competitive. Last week, you guys cut me off when I talked about comparing the team to Ottawa and Buffalo. You're right. We're not those organizations. We're better. And we're showing that even though we haven't had the luck in the number one draft picks, and we've gotten screwed in the lottery, that our scouts are better than everyone else's when we're picking Siders, Raymonds, and Edvinsons. And those are the guys, not David Perron, not Ben Sherratt. Those are the guys that are driving this rebuild.
No, and Steve, hold on. I remember your call last week. I didn't cut you off. We were about 4 minutes over time.
No, I know.
Let's be fair.
You guys had time.
And I don't cut off members of the hockey elite. I welcome you in. No, Steve, I think my issue is what you said as a part of this call. The playoffs should have been wrapped up. And they just, the last 5 weeks, can you at least do me this kindness? Can you admit this has been emotionally taxing the last 5 weeks to do the ups and downs with this team?
Oh, man. I mean, my heart rate hasn't been like this since last time I went to the Techno Festival in Hart Plaza. I mean, it is crazy. So I will say this, though, guys. They are learning to win. I know that they're one of the oldest teams in the NHL on paper, but they have a young core. Lucas Raymond, Edvinsson, Sider, even Larkin and DeBrincat are part of that young core. Those are the guys that are learning to win. And you know what? Next year, you're sure as heck right. They better make the playoffs. They have to make the playoffs. But I am very satisfied with not only the way that the rebuild has gone so far with the NHL team's performance, but the rookies the prospects' performances, whether that's in Grand Rapids or all across Europe.
Steve, you've already got your Danielson jersey printed out. I know. You're ready to rock.
No. Sandine Pelika, baby. Sandine Pelika.
I'm gonna get you a Winter Classic commemorative Augustine jersey. All right, we'll prep for 2026. We're gonna be okay.
Hey, in Columbus, I want that. I'm going to call you up in the fall, and we're going to make this Columbus trip happen, Mike.
I'll make it happen. Steve, I can't forget you. You're one of the best hockey callers we have. Everybody relax. I just can't. If you don't make the playoffs, I can't view it as a success. I'm sorry. 248-539-9797. Kenny, what size Casper jersey you need?
That Pelika jersey is going to be sick.
Okay. Oh, boy. All right, NBA play-in tournament. No sweat, same game parlay from FanDuel. Let me ask you a question, Rico. If
Yes,
you're
sir.
in the play-in tournament but you don't win it, did you make the playoffs?
Technically, you did.
No, you didn't. It's the same as the NCAA tournament. The streak's over.
You made the playoff streak is alive.
FanDuel has you covered. More ways to play, including SGPs. So however you want to get down, they got you covered. FanDuel.com/ticket. Bet the NBA with the no sweat same game parlay. It's just that simple. 21 and up, present in Michigan. Minimum 3-leg parlay required. Refund issued. Not withdrawable bonuses that expire in 7 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. You got a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117. And that's what we're gearing up for. I mean, look, I told you. You win last night, you get me full freight tonight, but that 4-1 start, I'm sorry.
Car flag flying.
You want to do Fenwick, you want to do Corsi, you can do whatever you like. You're down 4-1 to a bad Montreal team, a young Montreal team. The comeback is what it is. The problem I have is, I said this earlier, Jim Costa may as well work for Bally at this point. Like, what? Jim, they didn't get in last night. I guess I'm old school about it. I just still have a standard where it's like, I just view the Red Wings as kingpins. I view them as like the Yankees. I view them as the Lakers or Celtics. I view the Red Wings as being above the fray. And that I'm not asking anyone to rip the rebuild. I'm saying it's okay to not be totally satisfied. The fact that they collapsed the last 5 weeks. The fact that I need other people's help. Like, literally, help, I can't. Actually, I was about to say something terrible. Thank God I stopped myself.
Let me help you with that. No, I think
David, I'll share with you during the break. I
think if the Wings were in and out of the playoffs every other year, yes, but the fact that they haven't made it in so long that people are just, they're desperate.
I know, but the problem is I want to know from people, regardless of what happens tonight, since it's not in your control, is the season a success? See, I think that's the line of being a winner and a loser. I don't know how. I just don't know how you could say it's a success based on how the last quarter of the season has gone. Rico, February 28th, we were talking about they could be dangerous. They were playing really good hockey. They were 9 points above the cut line. And then what has happened since? Roughly, only winning 6 of 22 games or whatever it is. That takes a toll on you.
What are you talking about? Those games don't matter. We could talk about that after the season.
Huh?
Those games don't matter. Arizona doesn't matter. All those games we could talk about after the year. They can make the playoffs tonight. What are you talking about?
No, those games are a part of your story.
Yes, they are a part of the story.
Just like every game in 2009 was a part of what led to game 163 for the Tigers, a game they never should have been in. Like, they all matter. So I view it as, I went from viewing this team as playoffs, we're chasing seeding, and can we have a really good first-round series to help me, I'm poor. Like, you need someone to give you new pants on the last night of the season.
Buddy, but when it's been 8 years,
I don't
just get desperate.
No.
Because the pride goes away and you just want to see a team in the playoffs.
But here's the thing.
You want to root for your own. I'm sorry, hold on, Dave. Instead of just watching the playoffs, you want to root for your own team in the playoffs.
Hold on. We all don't want the same thing?
No, we do. But I'm saying the lowering of the bar.
I don't do that.
Of where people are, where, yes, if this was year 3, I think more people would be like you.
So let me ask you a question. It's been ages since MSU's done a damn thing. Well, you think my goals are any different? Go win the Big Ten.
No.
Don't be selling me some shoebox bowl or the cranberry condom bowl. No, I want to win the Big Ten.
It's 1 year. They're 9 years away. So, yeah, it's about the same.
Well, I don't lower the bar.
But that's you, Mike.
Here we go. This is where Mike's a weirdo.
All right. It's not a weirdo. You're more of a unicorn than a weirdo.
I understand what you're saying, Rico, and I'll just tell you where I was, because I told everyone I was done. Game's on last night. Of course, I'm a Wings fan. I got emotionally involved again. They're down. I'm like, what are we doing here? Everything's roller coaster. Then they finally win. Yes, I'm happy for the win. Then an hour later, after watching all the highlights of Ken Cal and everybody, I realized 7-game losing streak comes back to my mind, because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that.
That's
so, no, I'm not lowering the standard.
David,
I'll be happy for the win.
David,
but reality hits.
David, I'm shocked, because for you, it's about forgiveness.
No, it's not.
You have to forgive them.
David is the most judgmental man of the cloth.
You have to forgive them,
anywhere.
David. You got to forgive them, David. You got to let it go.
Man, David hates religions. He hates people. David, please.
You got to forgive them, David. You can't be this way.
Not forgiving them.
Yeah, David judges everybody. Give me a few ticket texts and I'll get to the callers. We have to replay the song as well. The song was
forgiving. Yeah, David forgiving. How much you putting in that offering plate?
Oh, no envelope this week, Miss Penelope? Okay. Oh, okay, I got you a sermon. Get out. Hey, let me give you God's word.
And it ain't forgiveness.
Oh, here we go. And then we got people texting this. Hi, Mike and Rico. I think the expectations you laid out for the season were not incredibly realistic. Playoffs are bust.
Okay.
The Wings have already surpassed their Vegas win total.
Oh, okay. Listen, you have every right to feel that way. I don't feel like I should be the villain for feeling the way I feel, because I just hold teams to a higher plane. Like I don't want to reveal the whole context of the conversation, but like Evan and I were doing something podcast related, and he showed me something Cookies did on social media. And I'm just like, Jim, what are you doing? Oh, my God. I mean, AJ pushing all the right buttons, and rinse, wash, repeat, another late inning win. And I'm like,
Here, let me find it.
no. So he admits to me, well, no, I know they're not going to challenge for the Central. Then what are we even doing? Do you know my expectations for the Tigers? Win the division. Not win the AL, not win the pennant, not win the World Series. Win the worst division God has ever created.
I keep thinking wins are going to be hard to come by for the light hitting Tigers. Yet, AJ Hinch pushes the right buttons again with Veerling against the Lone Ranger bullpen, left-handed bullpen, shuts the door, rinse and repeat, find a way.
Loser. What a dumb remark. Find a way. No, here's the deal. When half your runs have come after the 8th inning, that's not sustainable. When you have 4 everyday regulars who couldn't start in Japan, Mexico, or any other off-brand league, that's a problem.
Costa Rica?
When you're asking your pitchers to go out and essentially hold an ERA of 2 to give you a shot to win. Don't give me a rinse repeat.
Well, no,
I told him, you need to go sit on that desk with Keating.
Well, that
is unbelievable commentary from a guy I like and respect. That is terrible.
Well, the pressure on the pitchers, especially after the stat you gave us yesterday, arms are going to start falling off.
Oh, no, rinse, repeat. Rinse, repeat, dog. Go wash your face, Jim. Ridiculous.
You did this, David, with no forgiveness. I just want to let you know. You prayed for this city. We got Cade. You stopped forgiving.
Oh, that's worked out. Oh, that's worked out well, hasn't it?
Well, you should have prayed harder. Be more specific next time.
I still think
get Cade and win.
Yeah,
okay,
you didn't ask for that.
Rico, I've told you. I still think the district is his fault.
Isn't that what your shirt say?
Oh, I thought it said leave it. Leave it. Leave it alone. Let's take care of some business. I want to get back to the Hockey Elite. We'll
Hashtag forgiveness.
Okay. That's sufficient. 97.1.
Brought to you by Beninati Pools. It all comes down to tonight for the Red Wings. A win in Montreal gives Detroit a 60% chance to earn the last wild card. That's per money puck. Wings have 2 paths to the playoffs. Win at Montreal, and the Capitals lose at the Flyers. Or lose in overtime in Montreal. Capitals lose at Flyers in regulation, and Penguins lose tomorrow at the Islanders. Hear it all right here on the Ticket tonight, coverage at 6:45. Lions back in Allen Park for off-season workouts. That includes Jared Goff, who was asked about his contract talks with the team. Tigers took Game 2 from the Rangers this afternoon, 4-2, with a pair of runs in the penultimate inning. Detroit has scored 48% of its runs in the 8th inning or later. That's the highest rate in the majors. And the NCAA has placed Michigan football on 3 years probation, imposed an undisclosed fine and recruiting restrictions, and given several current and former coaches a 1-year show cause penalty for the Wolverines' recruiting violations during a COVID dead period back in 2020.
Oh, it's a cheeseburger.
The Corwell Health Update Desk, I'm Beanie Howell. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
All right, 5 o'clock. Lot to discuss. The Hockey Elite is out in full force. Let me just, Odyssey.com rewind, you missed anything. We joined you right after Tiger Baseball. Here's the Cliff Note, and then we have a very special guest. The Cliff Note is the following. I think the loser portion of the fan base will say that this season is a success no matter what happens. That no matter win or lose in Montreal tonight, have Philly do your work for you or not, season's a success. I can't go there. I'm actually, I resent this team based on the fact they put themselves in this position, just like last night. How are you down 4-1 to this team, chips in the middle of the table?
Yeah.
And you needed that rally. Now, look, that's fine. But what I can't do is turn this into, well, we got in the playoffs last. No, and I admit it. I'm jaded. I have no fanboy left in me. That's what 20 years in this business will do to you. But, Rico, we have a very special guest, a man who is near and dear to both of us. He's a very talented man, very masculine man. He is also the new morning drive man on this station. Our next guest, Frankie Avalon. Jim Costa joining us.
Boys, what's up?
Well, I want to tell you, Evan Jenkins has put up a piece of artwork that you're going to see when you join, when you host your show in the morning, and it's in direct sight to your chair.
Yeah, I see Evan's got me, photoshopped into the Valley desk in the group chat. I feel like I got to call and defend myself a little bit here.
Please do. Welcome. Yeah, the floor is yours.
Real quick on the Wings. It's absolutely not a success unless they're in the playoffs. 100% with you on it. They have to be in the playoffs or it's not a success. But I didn't understand the tone. You guys opened the show. And how you guys excited? We're excited because the season's not over, because they still have a chance to have a successful season. It's the exhale last night. I don't know how you missed that.
Easy, because I'm spiteful. I admit this.
Oh, okay.
No, I do.
No.
Jim, we do the pod together, and I talk to you on a daily basis.
I was about to say, don't you know this man?
Jim, I'm spiteful of the last 5 weeks, and I hate that we're in this spot, and I hate the way they started the game last night.
Michael, I know, I'm with you. I hated it too. But you say you don't have any fanboy. You don't have any fan in you sometimes. They got to have the bump in the chest. They win that game, they're alive another day.
And we still have to beg for spare change to get in.
Well, there's minor details.
That's my whole point.
and on the Tigers, I did tell Kenny I need to defend my bad tweet, right? Because apparently I left this open-ended to where people could interpret that I think they're going to win the AL Central. And I said on the air in the mornings, and I said to you in the text, this isn't sustainable. But my point was AJ pushed a good button. I wanted to react to a game in the moment. That's what social media is. I'm glad you're not on it. But that's all that was. Hey, good on AJ. They found another win. This is the one way they can win games. Low scoring, pinch hitter.
Right. And here's my point to you. I have no respect for that. That's why I took offense to you openly.
But it's money.
Everybody this afternoon.
It's Moneyball style. They just find ways to win.
Well, you know what they are, Rico? You'll love this. They're like an old school Big Ten team. They can only win one way. It's got to be low scoring.
Right.
It's got to be
It's
ugly.
Wisconsin football.
Yes, that's the team we make fun of.
It's Iowa football.
Even worse.
Oh, no.
All right, so Jim.
Anyway, you guys have a lovely show. What
What do you have coming up tomorrow morning?
Well, we're going to have a pretty wild emotional swing one way or another based on how this hockey game goes.
Okay.
I'm with you guys. If they win and get in, I mean, this is progress. This is playoffs. This is Raymond in a big spot. This is a team that steps up into another tier of the NHL. And if they win and they don't get in, or it's their own damn fault. And if they lose and they don't get in, it's their own damn fault. And I can't spin this, as big a hockey fan as I am, I can't spin it when it's the weakest bubble in years. You added a bunch of vets, kept a bunch of kids down. You added Patrick Kane. You had a 9-point cushion. I mean, it's not only not a success. I'll use the F word. I know we're in a soft, society here. It's a failure if they don't get in the playoffs.
I agree with you. Now, what is the setup for the game tonight? Because I imagine you in a jersey. I imagine you hunkered down for this now. Take us inside the castle.
Yeah, we got the fridge has got the beer stocked. We got the TV set up.
You put anything on the grill?
Nothing on the grill, but I got the pizza coming from a place Mike knows about.
Uh-huh.
And he knows.
I know.
And we got the jersey set out. We're ready to go.
Okay.
You hooked him up with the fish pizza?
No. He's got a spot of his own. I can't say it on the air. Okay. Jim, listen. I wish you good luck tonight. Just do me a favor. No more Tiger tweets, okay? Please.
Oh, okay.
I beg of you.
All right, I'll put a pin in it. See you guys.
Jim Costa tomorrow. Who's we? Jim Costa, morning man here at 97. Well, wanting to defend himself on becoming the John Keating of the station. They say
it's a good season, whether they win or lose.
Dreams are made and shattered in a shift. I'm sorry. Ozzy!
David Reese.
No. I want to throw the number to the people. Is the season already a success? Yes or no? And then part two, how much has the playoff drive or lack thereof? Let's be fair. This is, as Jim very smartly said, this is a very soft bubble. And this is a team that in a down year, i.e. the points it would take are probably 6 to 8 points less this year than normal, has found them. They played so bad over the last 20 games. They find themselves in this spot still needing help. Has this playoff chase, the emotional roller coaster, has it taken some of the joy from you? Maybe you're a masochist. Maybe you're into this pain and you're like, no, it's enhanced it. This has made it incredible. I don't know. For me, it's angered me because I thought they were above this. I thought we had turned that corner. And even Saturday, up 4-1, you go, holy hell, this is a virtuoso performance. And dead. Now I need a miracle to get out of Toronto.
So you say anger. For me, it's frustration. It's just, guys, do you want to win or do you want to lose? I'll support you either way, but just make up your mind. It's like being at dinner with somebody, like just pick an item on the menu so we can move forward.
Yes, all of that. 248-539-9797. David, a few ticket texts. I will get the callers momentarily.
The fact that we have absolutely no idea which team will show up tonight says it all. They aren't even good enough to predict their effort, let alone playoffs. They don't need to be there. All right.
Oof.
Agree with Mike completely. You have to have standards. If you ain't good, you don't belong in the playoffs.
Do you know David, you know what's interesting when you say it? And maybe this is a fault of mine. I just view it that I don't begrudge the money players make, but I begrudge when we don't take the standards we have in our lives and apply it to sports. Like I always laugh how we let the only millionaires in our life, i.e. the athletes, have the lowest standard in our life. No, like, that's crazy to me. And frankly, expecting a team to just make the playoffs, that's not even really a high bar. Not in year 5 of a build.
No.
So you're right. I don't think we should pop bottles. And last night, I'm always into the why. You know why last night was that exciting? Because they had to rally back from down 4-1. That factor, because I'm sick, that kills my ability to be excited.
Really? That didn't add to it?
I was still angry at him. I can't help it. It's how I am. I was mad. It's like if the Lions blew a 28-3 lead to win 34-31 in overtime. I go, you jerks, you stress me out for no reason. I got a sick relationship with sports, Rico.
Brother, I've worked with you and known you long, and I've known you longer. It's sad. This is you.
Yes.
I've literally watched you get angry. Like, Mike, they won. I don't care. Like,
you know
Mike,
what it is?
they just won the game. Don't care.
Here, I will indict myself. That's the East Coaster in me. That's how we all are. We're bad people.
You know what?
That's just how we are.
You're different people. You're not bad. You're different.
You know, in a folksy Midwestern town like this, you can be viewed as, well, that's bad. It's not bad.
You know, how about I give you something non-wings related that may make you smile? Just saw a little bit of news here.
Wow.
If you don't mind, I'll hijack the show for 30 seconds.
And then we go to the Hockey Elite.
We do.
I'm down with it.
Michael,
please tell
come
them all
this summer, you can watch a new miniseries. I'm trying to see on what channel. It's called Clipped. It's the Donald Sterling story.
No, that is not Donald Sterling. Be a different audience.
No. Ed O'Neill will be playing.
No.
Yes.
Ed O'Neill is Donald Sterling?
Mm-hmm.
Big magic. Mm-hmm. Wait, come on, man. Al Bundy as Donald Sterling?
Yep. Larry Fishburne, he's Doc Rivers.
So is this the same production company that did that atrocious OJ special with Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Oh, come on, man. That was must watch. But I don't know. But yes, they're doing at least a 6-part series sometime. It's going to start in June. I don't know which channel.
Who's going to play the lady with the visor on?
V. Stiviano.
Who's got that role?
Cleopatra Coleman. Don't know.
Never heard of her. I'm in.
So
tell me when it comes out.
Yeah.
There is no sports story in the history of America that has intrigued me more than the Donald Sterling. Again, the fact that an NBA owner went on national television and said the things he said in that interview. Jesus.
Hey, even Draymond Green is going to have a character in here.
Draymond's in the Donald Sterling?
He's not in it. There's somebody playing him.
Why? Why?
Outstanding. 5 stars. I'm in. All right, 248-539-9797. We'll get to the Hockey Elite next. 97.1.
Guys, if you want that career in radio, TV, or graphics design, Specs at LTU can help you achieve that goal, and they can help you achieve that goal rather quickly. Why? Because you do not have to wait until the fall to register and start classes at Specs at LTU. It's very simple. You got to be curious. You got to go visit the website, ltu.edu/specs, to learn more about the broadcast media arts, digital media arts, and graphics communications program through Specs at LTU, taught right here in Southfield on the campus of Lawrence Tech. You're going to be taught by people who actually work in the business. They're going to waste your time. And with the hands-on approach that you're going to get in every class and the expert faculty, you're going to learn the practical skills you need to succeed in today's media industry. So once again, what are you waiting for? Be curious. Visit the website, ltu.edu/specs, to learn more and find out when that next class is starting. Make sure you get your name on that list. Then make magic by enrolling in Specs at LTU certificate program today.
One other note. I mean, it was electric, that moment in that arena. Isn't it sad that's the loudest the arena's ever been? That's your moment. A regular season game that didn't clinch anything but simply allowed you survival in order to shake your ass on the corner and beg for help tonight. God, our teams have got to do better, man.
I was about to say, what do you think? The Pistons crowd is going to say anything?
No.
All 10 of them?
No. Hey, they were 15th in attendance.
That's true.
According to like Standard & Poor's or what is it, J.D. Power and Associates. Like, who the hell did that poll?
I don't know.
Sorry. All right, let's get to the Hockey Elite, shall we? I want to start out with the Don of Hockey Elite. We go to Andrew in Canton, 97.1. Andrew, how are you?
What's going on, guys? I'm finally back here home in Lexington, Kentucky, listening to you guys on this amazing Odyssey app down here.
And an amazing town. I'm a big fan of Lexington.
Yeah, so, Rico, this is directed towards you because Mike's going to shred me for this, obviously.
No, I won't. I'll stay silent.
Yeah.
You need his mic off?
I'll turn it off.
No. So I've been a fan of the team my entire life. Mike, I woke up every horse at Keeneland last night when Raymond scored that goal. And every single one of my new neighbors, because I can't help it. I've been so back and forth. I've been more back and forth than Stoney's take on liking Michigan football and Michigan State basketball in the last 2 weeks on this team.
That's saying something.
So,
I get it,
I don't
though.
know.
No, I mean, I've been back and forth with it. And I'm just, look, I get it. I'm more jaded. I'm more spiteful. I understand it. I was so mad when they were down 4-1. It took away my ability to be joyous. I go, how dare you?
I mean, if you watch the entirety of the game, so we hit the bar 6-7 times. We were peppering them and had control of the puck the entire time. And those 4 goals are just off bloops from the back of our net. That line had no shot on. So clean it up tonight. And yeah, I hate the fact that we have to have the Capitals lose tonight. Yeah, I hate the fact that I have to root for the Flyers tonight. But just get in. I mean, I said it I was on Costa a couple of days ago, Costa and Jansen, and I told him don't get in. But seeing how electric LCA could be for like you said, the greatest hockey town in the States, like let's just do that. Just get in, please. And see where this goes. Because that stadium can get a whole lot louder, I guarantee it.
Oh, it can.
Oh, of course it can. There's no question. Andrew, I think it's fascinating. You just the other day, you didn't want him in. Now you do. I mean, you're all over the place. You're a basket case.
No, it's frustration. Yeah, it is.
That's what I told. See, Rico shut his mic off. That's what I said. I literally called it as soon as I called it. I was like, Mike's going to kill me on this one. I'll tell you that.
Andrew, it is frustration because it's like, guys, do you want to be in the playoffs or not? I want to support you either way. If you don't want to be in here, fine. We'll move on. We'll start talking about next year. But don't keep changing your mind. Just pick a side. I'm with you.
What he just said. It impacts me. And I just viewed it like last night. How dare you come out and play this way? And please, stop letting them off the hook. Well, if you look at the analytics, guys, I watched the game. You know what I saw? I saw the team of Red score 4 times. Just stop. I saw you down 4-1. Please, I beg of you. There comes a point where results have to matter. And it's if you were playing your best hockey, there's no way in this lifetime or the next you're down 4-1 to Montreal. So just let's just go there.
At home in a game
right.
that you absolutely
the comeback is great. It's just I'm left feeling so angry at how we're in this position because they should. Are they better than the Capitals?
See, what I want you to do, Mike, is channel that frustration and not let it turn into anger. Just, sometimes just let it flow through your body. And just...
The anger?
Yes. And just take a deep breath.
Oh, it courses through my veins daily.
No. Just like a toxin. Get it out and just hit the reset button.
Do you know what releases that is championships? Accomplishment. Okay. Actual banners.
Yeah, Rico, it's kind of hard to do that when you see the Wings, they have a losing streak, you're angry, and then you also then have to watch the Tigers do what they do, and it's just a cycle,
It's
right?
just called, you know what?
Do you know why?
It's called April in the D.
All right, no, hold on. Time out. Hold on. Now, I'm really not in the business of defending myself. I just do what I do. But let me give you a comparison. Do you know why I was able to confidently and effectively go out a year in advance and say the Lions are winning this division and we're winning a home playoff game? because I could believe in the way they were built. I believed in the product. I believe, and I still believe to this day, the Lions are very real. Do you know the problem I have with the Tigers? They're not real. It's total fake.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, we're going to score a zillion runs in the ninth and just keep winning all year. Za, 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 za. No, you're not. Stop.
It's fugazi.
Okay? I saw Zach McKinstry in the 3-hole today. Never, ever. The Wings, it's the middle ground. It's exactly what you said. It's like you're looking at a menu. I'll take this. I'll take that. Just kidding. Send this back. Go over here. We're back to the first page. Maybe I just want apps tonight. Yeah. And you're just like...
You're asking the waitress, what do you recommend? What do you like?
Oh, I didn't consider the specials. Hey, David, want to Dutch it tonight? Want to split the meal? Maybe I should get some to go. I'm kind of uncomfortable.
At this point, I'm hungry. You know what? He'll have the steak.
Right. It's just, you become exhausted by the process of what the Wings have done. So that has played a role. It's right. Now, where will the joy reside? Playoffs. If they get into the playoffs, it allows me then to go, okay, we are now in an undeniable barometer.
So if they get into the playoffs, clean slate?
It would be how they play.
Okay.
If they're the 2019 Pistons.
So they're grand opening, grand closing.
If it's
fastest playoff run ever. The Pistons were in there for 48 hours. I don't know how they played 3 games in 48 hours, but it just seemed that way.
You're not in the game. You know, you're the goalie's getting run every night. No, that.
But Blake.
If they play a representative, respectable playoff series, and they can get it to 5, let's say,
back to what I said, like the 6-game series.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Then it would be, hey, I think we could all look around and go, we're excited about next year. But the problem I have is they don't even get to handle their own business tonight.
So a respectable playoff series puts them where the Lions were when they beat Green Bay but didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But you saw this team's going to be a problem in the future.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
And then Kenny's going to bring up some player no one's ever heard of, and we're going to pay him $10 million over 10 years, and it's going to be real exciting. Okay. Yes, that's where I'm at. Let's go to the people.
I'll just go get the MSU jersey, the goalie.
Augustine, yeah. We're ready for 2027. Goalies take forever. Take it from a guy who grew up an Islander fan. It is a graveyard of goaltending prospects.
He won't be here next year?
Dude, it's so hard to find a goalie in the NHL. And it's so hard to draft one and develop them and bring them up and have it work. It's so difficult. So, yes, you have Costa and you have Augustine, 2 of the top 10, 12, 15 prospects. You got to pray to God one of them hits. That's the other issue, is the whole rebuild. What scares me is this isn't like the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles just have this. It's like Lucille Ball with the bonbons.
Yeah.
There's just more great players coming down the line. They don't have enough room for all of them. When you look at the Wings, this Palinka, whatever his name is, Danielson, Casper. There's your 3 bullets there, and you got the 2 goalie prospects, right? Mm-hmm. Rico, if those players don't hit, there's no one coming to save you now. So it's one of those things where we trust the scouting and we trust, hey, we're going to be more right than wrong. But my fear is, depending on goalie prospect for future, that's just a road to heartbreak. Gotcha. Kenny, please strike me down on this as hockey elite.
Goalies take forever. A lot of seasoning is necessary. Costa was drafted in 21, and he's still bebopping around in the minors. So
bebopping.
It takes some time. Yeah.
Oh, Kenny just called him Thomas McCollum. 2-4. Kenny, you're known for brash takes on the wing. You say, unbelievable. No. 248-539-9797. More of your phone calls coming up next. 97.1. All right, Natural Way, get green, stay green with Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service. Limited time only. You purchase a full lawn program, you get free grub control. And remember, all you got to do, mention my name. Station, show, whatever you like. They'll get the idea. And they're going to give you their best pricing of the year. And I know we've come out of a wild spring and crazy weather changes. Let them get out and get the first application done on that lawn so you can enjoy a beautiful lawn all summer long. On days like today, professional applicators, customized solutions, not for anyone else, for your lawn. Visit naturalwaylawn.com for all your lawn care needs, or just call 888-GET-GREEN. That's 888-GET-GREEN. It's Natural Way, Lawn and Tree Service.
Brought to you by National Benefit Plans. Speaking to the media in Allen Park today as Lions offseason workouts began, Jared Goff said he wants to finish his career in Detroit. Red Wings at Canadiens tonight, needing at least a point, maybe more, and some help to earn the Eastern Conference's final wild card. Here on 97.1, coverage starting at 6:45. Tigers beat the Rangers 4-2 this afternoon to get to 10-7 on the season. And college sports tomorrow, a group of pro sports owners, executives, and college sports administrators is actively pitching its reimagining of college football, proposing 8 10-team divisions, a 16-team playoff, and even a relegation/promotion system. Michigan and Michigan State would be in the Midwest Division, along with Ohio State, Purdue, Northwestern, Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, Cincinnati, and Louisville. At the Corewell Health Update Desk, I'm Beanie Howell. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
All right, 97.1. David, we'll get a few ticket texts. We have talked exclusively Red Wings as we get ready for the game tonight. But, Rico, you wanted to bring up some other news. I'm here for it. What are we hitting? What are we doing here?
The Michigan COVID recruiting violation penalties
I'll see
are
everybody
out
tomorrow.
from the NCAA.
Okay.
3 years, to summarize, 3 years probation, a fine, recruiting restrictions, and 1 year show cause for 5 individuals, and 1 former coach did not participate in the agreement.
Harbaugh.
Right. He's living in a van down by the river, literally by the ocean. That portion of the case will be separate to that 1 individual. So that's for the 2020 cheeseburger COVID.
JJ recruitment.
Let's just say the JJ recruitment. So, yes, that's what's coming down as of now. This has nothing to do with the sign stealing or that's a separate investigation.
See, what you and Evan had said is disturbing is that people couldn't differentiate between this and the cheating scandal. No. When I kept saying you were under dual NCAA investigation, this would be the part of the dual.
Oh, no, Mike. You have Michigan people celebrate, like, see, there was no hammer that got dropped, no vacated victories.
That's not what this is,
and this
nor
wasn't
would there
about.
be a vacated championship because the NCAA does not hand out the national championship. The college playoff committee does. See, this is my issue with 2024. So many of you just can't even critically think anymore. You choose ideology over facts. Holy hell. Now, Rico and I, scumbag Sparty, told you all along it wasn't a cheeseburger. You idiots actually poked the NCAA to a point where the NCAA took the unprecedented step to go out and say it's not about a cheeseburger.
Well, how about this? If Harbaugh just takes the 4-game suspension early,
none of it happens.
It's gone. It goes away.
But I think the reality here, this is the point, all right? You had the 5 show cause penalties. One of them is because Harbaugh refused to cooperate and outright lied to the NCAA. That's why all these coaches scattered. Mm-hmm. Now, the interesting part is going to be, does Sharon Moore have a show cause? Now, that doesn't mean he's automatically suspended because you could pre-negotiate that in. Right. But the point I want to make is this. If they are now on a 3-year probation, and I don't know the answer to this, I'm asking or hypothesizing, if you're already on probation, what happens when the NCAA begins to hand you your notice on the sign stealing, on the Connor Stallions files? You treat a school differently when they're on probation than when they're not. They're a multi-time offender.
It's a great question because
I don't have the answer.
No, right. Because if let's say you got pulled over and got 2 separate tickets.
What are you, Denard?
Well, yeah.
What the hell's going on down there, man? You hire coaches. Can you guys behave yourselves?
Yeah, you may be looking for another new coach.
No, you are, if the things you and I have heard about that situation.
Well, right now it's still allegedly.
Right,
so
I did not say anything.
But, I mean, one has nothing to do with the other. So it could be harder penalties that come down, and this is the one for Connor Stallions and the cheating scandal, and what actually happened. How long did it go on? Who knew what? We're still waiting on that as well. Now, unless this investigation is going to go 3 years so that this penalty will lapse and then they get hit with another 3 years. Other than that, I don't know how this next ruling will have to do with the first ruling.
Right. I think the biggest thing in all of it, again, it's you can say things a million times. It doesn't make it true. Like, you don't get to say it was about nothing. No, you cheated. They dropped a level 1 violation on you. I told you all along, Harbaugh lied to him. Tried to get cute. What did he do? This is my other beef. All these people who want to do revisionist history talking about how much Harbaugh loved you. Well, Harbaugh loved you just enough to get you into 2 NCAA investigations, pull a Pete Carroll and leave one step ahead of the posse, 5 show cause penalties. I have no idea what the recruiting violation stuff will be. I have no idea if they'll limit scholarships or not. I don't really care. None of that matters to me. What matters is calling you on your BS. You were so nervous about JJ going to a different school that you set up an illegal recruiting visit amidst a worldwide pandemic. You cheated. Mm-hmm. All right? And I know our coach was a scumbag and did stupid stuff, and he ain't there no more. The point is, he was over Zoom, and you weren't even able to monitor your own players. And then you enhanced your cheating when you started doing this sign stealing nonsense. So, no, I there's no huge victory. It's just you don't get to walk around saying it's a nothing burger. But you don't.
But they actually are. Some.
Rico, again,
Some.
You can say it. It doesn't make it true.
No.
Because this factually proves it is true.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows you why these coaches scurried. And it also shows you why Sharon had such a hell of a time putting a staff together.
Bro, if you're sitting up here
why don't we
saying-
just call it what it is?
Yeah.
The best you could do is hire a broken down NFL defensive coordinator who my organization was thrilled to see go bye-bye and who couldn't land another job in the NFL. Great. You got Wink Martindale. Right. He's perfect for you. Right. All sizzle, tons of hype. He'll wear the pit vipers. He'll do provocative things.
Yeah.
But the reality,
and 2 assistant coaches who won't be coaching a down for you in this fall.
And your big win about getting a coach from Ohio State, well, that's easy to do when your contract's not renewed. It's just true.
No, it is.
So, look, if Ohio State wanted to keep him, they would have. They blew, according to reports, blew north of $30 million this offseason on coaches and players. Yeah. So it wasn't a money thing. They didn't want him.
Yeah, he was waiting at the mailbox like, wait, where's mine?
I'm interested to see where Sharon falls in all of this. And I don't know.
Well, remember, he had to serve a suspension early in the year last year. So he was one of the people that didn't get to coach a game. So you got to think that he's one of the 5 persons of interest. Now, how does this work? I don't know.
And again, there could be a pre-negotiated deal where, hey, I tried to do the right thing and my boss wouldn't. Well, I don't know.
See, because the way it's looking is now all of a sudden Harbaugh's lawyer comes out and says, it looks like Michigan is backing up the bus on my client.
That's because your client lied and did whatever he had to do to get his way.
Right,
and got the hell out and left you with the bag. Of course Michigan's going to turn on him.
Yeah, maybe Moore was just like, look, in the end, I said, hey, Jim, here's the thing. Here's the evidence. I did my job. I gave it to the right people. The right people didn't do what they were supposed to do with it. Yeah. I don't know.
The biggest thing for me is just now, all right, if they're on probation for 3 years, you've got the violations.
It depends on when the next one gets.
Yeah, I don't know how it will be handled. I only know how it's been handled in the past.
Brother, I got a feeling that if you're Michigan, it may just be that statute of limitations where the 3 years lapse and they come out with the next penalty, because it's been how long since we been trying to figure out who was on Central Michigan's sideline?
No, we figured it out because
right, but the NCAA
I won't say
still
the next
investigating.
step. I'll just tell you, we know. I'm sure CMU is going to get around to it at some point. But no, my whole point is nothing really has to happen, because I can already hear some of the hyenas chirping, because it's already a win for the rest of the free world. You don't get to say you're one thing when you're clearly another, which is fun for me.
Yeah.
So I don't, nothing else
right.
I told you.
You can't say we did it the right way because you won.
Right.
But if you didn't do it the right way.
Harbaugh leaving helps you in one regard, but the fact that it was 5 show causes and the fact that I think it absolutely has hurt your program's ability to put a good staff there. Sorry, it made Sharon's job harder. There's a reason a lot of people turned it down. People know what's going on. They know you're under multiple investigations. So it's your reality. I told you, enjoy the ride while you got it, because the other side of it, none of us are going to care. You can wear your stupid little T-shirts amongst your friends, but no one's going to validate what you did. So don't seek it from other people. Enjoy your life with your people. Just understand, nobody else in America is going to validate your dirt.
Right. But yeah, this is just the first one. There's another one that I think is probably going to swing a bigger hammer.
And you're right, but to your point earlier about how long it takes, JJ's gone now. It took 3 years for them to even drop a penalty, an actual thing here.
It's all a joke.
Yeah.
It's a glacial pace. The difference with the cheating this year is it was in real time. It was in real time. It wasn't like post-haste discovery.
Right.
Real time. David, we lived in a time this fall where the Big Ten goes to Michigan State and says, hey, the other team might have your place. 72 hours for a game. What?
That the Big Ten said, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and suspend you now because you did something. So you can't coach the rest of this season.
But my hope would be, we talk about the length of when they come out, my hope would be because maybe Harbaugh's gone now, they don't fight it, and it could just happen.
It helps you that he's gone.
Yeah.
See, make no mistake.
And I got a feeling that a lot of Michigan people won't like Ward Manuel because I do think that Ward tried to end this a long time ago, walked in there and said, Jim, sign this so we can be done with it. I'm not signing nothing.
Amicus briefs. 248-539-9797. I'm sorry. That was such a good bit. Jim Harbaugh's at his hotel awaiting the ruling of a local court. I'm going, what are we doing here?
And the court was like, Jim, don't do this. Do not do this. Withdraw this case right here, right now, or else we're going to have to expose a lot of things.
Here was the court's reaction when they saw the brief. Get back on the bus. NBA playing tournament. Give you a chance to play and have a good time with a sport that, frankly, is impossible to watch. The NBA is a really impossible sport. The latter stages, at least now, we're going to get something called effort from the players. Very exciting.
Are we, though?
I think.
Lakers?
FanDuel has more ways for you to bet the play-in tournament.
Lakers
Anybody else?
online, too.
I quit. $150 in bonus bets, win or lose, during the NBA playoffs, which technically do start tonight. So it's FanDuel.com/ticket. That's FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and up, present Michigan. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms, sportsbook.fanduel.com. You got a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117. All right, so I apologize, guys. I was a little late there. Rieger was being hyper annoying. I tell you, Rico, this is a problem. This guy over here,
Rieger.
You're the flip flopper. You're the ultimate flip flopper.
No. What are you talking about?
And Mark Ryan is here.
Hi, Mark. Rico.
You go from
Rieger just
spiting
stokes the fire. That's all he does.
Spiting him to loving him to spiting him to then, hold on, the anti-fan. Oh, I was at the game last night.
I was as a fan.
Oh, it was
first time in
incredible.
like 4 years. It was fantastic.
It doesn't matter.
He told me he had a great time. He was cheering at how loud the place was.
The place is very loud.
He threw one of the octopi.
I did. I crotched the octopi. So I boiled it, then I crotched it, and then I threw it on the ice. That's part of it. Can I ask you a quick question, though?
You do whatever you want.
So I was playing 18 holes yesterday, and I tuned in to the Mike and Rico program, my favorite program on radio, as we were huffing it, we were walking it. And I heard you say you might not like Jeff Rieger because he's quite the rebel rouser with the Javi comments. That was totally fair questioning, was it not?
It was.
Okay.
But this is a soft town. This is Cialis City. This is Limp Bleep City. You're viewed as a pariah because you ask, God forbid, good stuff.
It's a big question.
And by the way, I have always defended you.
I know. I appreciate that.
You can miss me with that nonsense. I have always been Team Rieger.
I appreciate that.
I thought the question was just fine.
No,
I thought Javi's answer was fine.
I agree with you.
I just said, go tell someone who cares.
Javi's
go
actually
tell your wife, your therapist, your pastor. Go tell whoever you want. Don't come here with it. We don't care, bro.
Gentlemen, I
have
been here all of 2 weeks. There's already something grating on me. Why the hell is it that everyone in this town is always waiting for the other shoe to drop?
What do you mean?
It's always with everything. Yeah, but we're going to lose. Yeah, but the Red Wings are going to find a way to blow it.
Because
here we go again, 4-1.
You ready?
Can you stop doing this crap with everything?
Have you ever housebroken a dog?
Brutally.
Okay,
Yes.
so you know what the dog's pretty much going to do every day, every night. You're hoping that one day you can break the dog of that.
It's a great analogy, Rico.
Mark, no town with 4 pro teams had a decade like we just had. You got to understand it. It's the lowest winning percentage in American sports history. That's Mark, it plays a role. And again, here's the thing I would say. The longer you're here, you're going to understand one thing. There is a weird low standard threshold in this town.
Yes.
Which I don't have. So I'm constantly at odds with it. Like I have like last night, you bring up the 4-1. Right, you know how upsetting it is to see them blow a 4-1 lead Saturday, only to do this gym class hero routine. And then last night, by the time your beverage is cold, down 4-1.
No, but
and I got to do this crap the other way.
But the fact that we've been starved and tortured for such a long time, the fact that they can get it done tonight, and you're right, they need the help of the Capitals. By the way, Capitals not mind their back-to-back game.
By the way, underdogs against Philly.
What, the Capitals? Yeah. Oh, they got to travel. Philly's been waiting for them. Philly needs to win that game themselves. So
60% chance the Capitals lose tonight, so say the numbers.
But I guess I just wonder, like, I am willing to forgive all the garbage that they put us through to be in this position because it's been such a long time. So before you
slander Rico and I next, which is fine.
I like
Market's pain.
I like doing that.
This town is about pain.
No, put this on the record, though. If you want a clean slate from us two bleep holes,
got to win tonight.
No. It's how you play in the playoff series. The last 6 weeks has been it's been emotional terrorism, what they have done. When you play 22
7-15?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. That's not a playoff push. That's throwing yourself ass first into a wood chipper. So now get in and play a respectable series.
But does it?
That's all.
Does it change anything, though? Honestly, when you look at the Capitals' pathetic -41 goal differential, you look at the Flyers, you look at the Penguins. These teams all blow too.
And so do you.
I
you lost
understand
7 games in a row.
Because Rieger, here's the thing.
You
beat Arizona one time. We're not having this conversation.
But you did.
When you have a low standard,
low
standard, and when you are an easy grader, you're only hurting yourself. You're only hurting yourself. Up the standard.
New guy wins.
Hold on.
That's very disrespectful. His name is Mark.
No, Mark. Win.
With a C.
Mark.
M-A-R-C. Why? Just because he agrees with you. Tonight is a great day.
Winner.
Tonight is a great day.
That's exactly how he talked to Gamecock fans in South Carolina.
100%.
Losers. Clemson fans, the standard is the standard.
Why don't you ask Kenny Cow how he's feeling right now? You think this guy right there?
We don't win here. So the bar is low. As I said, when you walk into the bar, your single days, it was 10 o'clock. You walk in there. Your standard was, I'm going for 9s and 10s. By 2 o'clock,
Rico, the hell with what happened yesterday. You set the expectation every day that you wake up.
Wow.
Every day you
understand.
decide what it
Motivational
is.
speaker.
But you want to know why fans feel that way because every time, I mean, you keep lowering the bar so that you could just finally clear.
I'm
Like the
with you.
Lions finally did it last year.
He's explaining your customer base, and he's not wrong. You don't need to subscribe to it. That's the whole
I am
point.
not going to allow myself to be infiltrated with this negativity.
Oh.
Oh, well, you're on your own there.
buddy.
Godspeed,
You called
Mark.
me a flip-flopper.
You know what?
What is that?
I don't know. He had me up until that.
Let's have this conversation October 1st.
Call me in 20 years. Let me know how it works out.
October 1st, I'm going to be like, hey, remember when you told me I'm not letting this affect me?
I can't wait. Cutscene. He's like, son of a. All right. Hey, programming note. I don't know if they're playing baseball tomorrow, so plan on us being here at 2.
Tigers are going to be out there, rain or shine, because that pitching staff is awesome.
Charlie lingering, getting lit up tonight by the Flyers.
They're going to find a way to win a game because that's what the Tigers do.
Okay. Are we done?
No.
Can I leave now?
Yeah, you can go.
All right. We'll talk to everybody tomorrow.
Get the hell out of here.
97.1.